The two theorists I chose were Charles Darwin and Harry and Rosemary Wong. I know a little bit about Charles Darwin, and Harry and Rosemary Wong, I did not know much about them. So, about Charles Darwin, he liked the idea of being able to pursue natural history, and in 1827 he became a student at Cambridge University. There he was studying theology with a goal of becoming an Anglican person. While Charles was at Cambridge, he studied a lot of scientific ideas and papers written by geologist Adam Sedgwick and naturalist John Henslow. They were both big believers in the idea of evolution of natural species. At this time, Darwin was not a true believer in evolution yet, but he was exposed to scientific beliefs behind the theory quite often in his studies. From 1831 to 1836, Charles boarded a ship called the HMS Beagle. The ship's mission was to travel around the world in search of new scientific discoveries. While on the ship, Darwin served as a naturalist, collecting thousands of specimens from various countries around the world. They were mostly from South America. Charles Darwin said this trip across the oceans was by far the most important voyage of his life. Later in life, Darwin published his most famous book, On the Origin of Species. This book helps explain how evolutionary selection occurred throughout the course of their existence on Earth. Natural selection and survival of the fittest were a couple of the scientific terms that originated from his studies published in the book. Charles Darwin's studies have laid the groundwork for modern scientific evolutionary studies and research going on years later. Darwin's evolutionary theory provides the background for thinking about human behavior. His work is being taught in psychology, biology, and many other classes. In psychology, his work of human evolution and the expression of emotions is demonstrated by how empirical tests can be performed using data from different species to learn about how the behavior evolves. This comparative method is the most important method in evolutionary psychology. I took a biology class at my old school, and we talked a lot on Darwin's evolutionary theory. The other person I did, Harry and Rosemary Wong, their big thing was on classroom management. Harry and Rosemary Wong are both former teachers. They decided to write a how-to book on teaching. This book is called The First Days of School, and it is how to be an effective teacher. This book was self-published and designed to look like an automobile's manual. The Wongs didn't expect their book to be a hit. This book was published in 1991 and has sold around 3.8 million copies and has been printed in 6 languages. So this book is pretty popular throughout the world in classrooms. This book is used as a classroom text in more than 2,000 colleges, said Harry Wong. This book is the most popular for K through 12 teachers in the United States. This book is focused on 3 characteristics that are of effective teaching, which are classroom management, positive expectation, and lesson mastery. The Wongs are also well known for their advice on classroom management. This is an area where many teachers struggle. They emphasize that teacher preparedness and the use of well-defined procedures will promise educators to create greater order in their classrooms. The Wongs also have a monthly column for Teachers.net that they have been doing for the past 10 years. On this column, there's every topic that you could ever imagine for any teacher. They have from surviving without a principal to assessing for student learning. So there are many different advice columns for new teachers, any teachers to use, to look at. And that is all I have on the theorist.